Hi friends, we can go through the new module D, and first unit 26, overview of credit management. So friends, please go until the end of this video to get the complete gist of this unit, and there is no need of again going through the test, as all important points are covered in this lecture. So we can start. We all know traditionally there was private money lenders, and they traditionally played important role in credit. So it created rural indebtedness and rural landless population due to high illiteracy, as these money lenders used to charge a lot from the rural population. So after nationalization of banks in 1969, it was a watershed event in the history of credit flow of banking sector. Concept of priority sector became integral part of banking system after this, and next we can move to types of borrowers. First, an individual, and they comes under Indian Contract Act. Sole proprietorship firm is the second type of borrower. Third type is partnership and joint venture, and it comes under Indian Partnership Act. Hindu Undivided Family HUF, this comes under customary laws. Companies comes under Companies Act, and trust and cooperative societies comes under Indian Trust Act. Statutory corporations comes under Cooperative Societies Act, and limited liability partnership LLPs. These are the types of borrowers. Also local authorities is there. Next we can move to types of credit. There are two types of credit. They are fund based and non-fund based credit. In fund based there is a transfer or flow of funds, whereas in non-fund based there is no movement of money. Fund based can be divided into short-term credit and long-term credit. And non-fund based are guarantees, letters of credit, co-acceptance of bills, forward contracts and derivatives. Credits on the basis of purpose are working capital finance, this is given for crop loan, project finance and export finance. Components of credit management. First, appraisal. Appraisal means checking credit history and background of the borrower. When a borrower comes to our bank for getting a loan, first we have to appraise. That is, we have to check his credit history, his background, his getting feasibility report of activity proposed by him, securities available with the borrower, financial track record, etc. we have to check. Next is delivery. Here, legal aspects of documentation and creation of charge over security is done. Next is control and monitoring. To ensure end use of borrower funds, we must ensure our bank's own funds is used correctly by the borrower. Next is restructuring or rehabilitation and recovery. Here, credit default due to genuine problems or due to intentional default, willful default comes under rehabilitation and recovery. So for genuine default, in some business, due to some seasonal variations or some other factors, there may be chance of genuine defaults. So in that case, we bank provide additional assistance or concessions or refacing, etc. to make their project viable. So we use corporate debt restructuring scheme. We used to do CDR. In case of willful defaults, recovery process will be initiated. So for willful defaulters, just we start recovery process. Next is refinance. Refinance is given by NABARD, SIDBI, RBI, etc. for certain, and this refinance is only for priority sector lending or advance. So for priority sector, refinance is given. Now let us know what all are RBI's. According to master directions of RBI, what all comes under priority sector. RBI as regulator decides about the sector to be included in priority sector and minimum percentage of total bank lending to go to this sector. So RBI decides which all sectors to come under this sector. Friends, I have updated all the correct values here. In some chapters, the values or percentages, or for example, the housing loan limit, etc., is changed from in the new edition book also. So I am updating all this in my new videos. So kindly watch till the end. It is very useful for you. Finance for MSME less than 5 CR, agriculture finance, etc. comes under priority sector lending. In finance for MSME, Khadi and village industries, 7.5% of MSME. That is, this MSME sector has certain percentage, and out of it 7.5% must go to Khadi and village industries. Loans by bank to mutual funds for lending to MSME. So if mutual funds etc. lends to MSME, such loans must be under PSL. OD of 5,000. We know PMJDY account holders can go with an OD of 5,000 rupees, and these account holders must have annual income less than 1 lakh in rural and 1,60,000 in urban areas. So this OD of 5,000 is also covered under priority sector. Also, factoring transactions on with recourse basis comes under PSL. Housing finance, HL, here in the text it is given as 28 lakh in metros and 20 lakh in others, but the new limits for priority sector lending in housing finance is 30 lakh and 25 lakh respectively in metro and other regions. For repair, it is 5 lakh in metro and 2 lakh in other regions. Education loan, it is less than or equal to 10 lakh. If education loan amount is less than or equal to 10 lakh, it comes under priority sector lending. Export credit comes under PSL. Social infrastructure, which is up to 5 CR, comes under PSL. Loans not exceeding 60,000 to individuals, that is personal loans and self-help groups in rural areas, less than or equal to 1 lakh, and in other regions less than or equal to 1,60,000 comes under PSL. Both of these comes under PSL. Loans to distressed persons, that is personal loans, comes under PSL, and it must be less than 1 lakh per borrower for prepaying the debt. Next is targets of PSL. So as per RBI, each bank has its charges to be met under PSLs. That is, some portion of their NBC must be given as loan to PSL. Total PSL is 40% of adjusted net bank credit by 2020. 40% of adjusted net bank credit by 2020. And out of this, agriculture must come as 18% of PSL. Out of this, 8% for small and marginal farmers. Agriculture 18% of PSL, and out of this 8% to small and marginal farmers. Micro enterprise 7.5% of PSL, and advanced to weaker sections is 10% of this. Now we move to weaker section. Who all comes under weaker section? We can check. Small and marginal farmer, SC and ST, women up to 1 lakh per borrower. For weaker section, in weaker section, woman comes in weaker section, but for PSL it must be less than 1 lakh per borrower, and SHG comes under weaker section. Distressed persons other than farmers, they can be given less than or equal to 1 lakh under PSL, and PMJDY OD up to 5,000 comes under weaker section. Minority community as per Government of India comes under weaker section. No ad hoc service charges to PSL. No ad hoc service charges to priority sector lending if amount is less than 25,000 rupees. Now we can move to MSMED Act. Enterprises engaged in manufacture and processing or preservation of goods. Under this, we can classify such enterprises in manufacturing or processing as micro enterprises, small enterprises, and medium enterprises. In micro enterprises, investment in plant and machinery is less than or equal to 25 lakhs, must be less than or equal to 25 lakhs. For small enterprises, investment in plant and machinery is greater than 25 lakhs, whereas it must be less than 5 CR. For enterprise to be classified as medium enterprise, their investment in plant and machinery must be greater than 5 CR and less than or equal to 10 crores. Enterprises engaged in providing or rendering service. So the second type of enterprise is for providing and rendering service, and it also consists of micro, small and medium enterprises. Micro enterprise investment in equipment is less than 10 lakhs. So if enterprise is classified as micro, it must have an equipment investment less than 10 lakh in service sector. Small enterprise, it must be the investment in equipment is greater than 10 lakh and less than or equal to 2 crore. And for medium enterprise, the investment is greater than 2 crore and less than or equal to 5 crore. Guidelines for lending to MSME. So we can go through the guidelines. Mandatorily acknowledge loan application by MSME borrowers. So bank has to mandatorily acknowledge their loan application. No collateral up to 10 lakh for MSME. Banks can increase the limit up to 25 lakh for MSME with good track record. So a loan without collateral up to 10 lakh must be given to MSME, and this limit can be increased to 25 lakhs if they have good track record. Composite loan limit of 1 crore to avail working capital and term loan requirements. So they can also avail 1 CR for their working capital requirement, etc. for purchasing raw materials, etc. CLSS, credit linked capital subsidy scheme for technology upgradation of MSME for loan up to 1 crore. Rate of subsidy is 15%. So they will be given a subsidy of 15% by Government of India. And credit exposure norms. For individual group borrowers, exposure ceiling limits is 15% of capital funds for individual borrower and 40% of capital funds for borrower group. So exposure ceiling limits for individual borrowers is 15%, whereas those for group is 40%. Capital fund. Now we can check what is capital fund. Capital fund comprises of Tier 1 and Tier 2 capital of the bank. Exposure ceiling limits can be credited to 20% of individuals and 50% to groups, provided additional extension of credit to infrastructure projects. For exposures to NBFCs, exposure of both lending and investment, including off-balance sheet exposure of a bank to single NBFC or NBFC AFC, that is asset financing companies, should not exceed 10/15%. So that is, for single NBFC it must be 10, and for NBFC AFC it is 15% respectively of bank's capital funds as per audited balance sheet. Banks can lend to IFC, infrastructure finance companies, from 15 to 20% of its capital funds. So this is how banks can lend based on their capital funds, and capital funds consist only of Tier 1 and Tier 2 capital. Exposure limits are also applicable to consortium arrangements and bills discounted under letters of credit. Next is interest rate on advance. First, MCLR, marginal cost of funds based lending rate. MCLR comprises of marginal cost of funds, negative carry on account of CRR, operating cost, cost of providing loans, and tenor premium for loans of longer tenor. Negative carry equal to required CRR. Negative carry equal to required CRR into marginal cost by 1 minus CRR. Marginal cost of funds consists of marginal cost of borrowings and return on net worth. These two components constitute marginal cost of funds. Next is spread. We are discussing about interest rate on advance. The second one is spread. Spread, board approved policy for charging components of spread to a customer. So these spread must be charged from a customer. Spread will be increased if the credit risk profile of customer deteriorates. That is, credit risk profile of customer is very is not good, the bank will increase its spread for such a customer. Components of spread include business strategy and credit risk premium based on credit risk rating. Spread charged to an existing borrower should not be increased except on account of deterioration of the credit risk profile of the customer. So spread cannot be increased except on account of deterioration. If the credit risk profile of customer deteriorates, spread will increase and his interest rate etc. will increase. Next, third one is interest rate on loan. Lending rate equal to components of spread as we discussed here. Components of spread are business strategy and credit risk premium etc. of customer, and it is added to MCLR to get the lending rate to a customer. Exception from MCLR, loans covered by schemes formulated by Government of India is exempted from MCLR rate. MCLR, marginal cost of lending rate, and working capital loan, WCTL, fund interest term loan, FITL etc. granted as a part of rectification or restructuring package are exempted from charging as per MCLR. Loans under various refinance scheme by Government of India is exempted. Advance to banks depositors against their own deposit is exempted. Advance to banks on employees including retired employees is exempted. Advance to CEO or whole-time director and fixed rate loans granted by banks etc. are exempted. Review of MCLR. To publish MCLR every month on a pre-announced date of different maturities. Reset of interest rates. MCLR prevailing on the day the loan is sanctioned will be applicable till the next reset date. So periodicity of reset is less than or equal to 1 year. So the loan rate, interest rate must be reset in a year, and it must not exceed a year. It is less than or equal to 1 year. Existing loans and credit limits linked to base rate may continue till repayment or renewal as the case may be. So existing rate will continue and existing borrowers can move to MCLR linked loan at mutually acceptable terms. Next is periodicity of charging interest on advance. Charging interest at monthly rate not applicable to agricultural advance linked to crop seasons. Compounding of interest on agricultural advances can be used by banks. So periodic charging of interest is on advance cannot be done on agricultural advances linked to crop seasons. Penal rate of interest for default in repayment for loans up to 25,000 rupees coming under PSL, no penal rate should be charged. So friends, thanks for watching this video. I think this video is very useful for you, and I will come with the next unit. So friends, please subscribe, please like the video, and also comment and also share with your friends